What's up, motherfucker?
Hold on, I hope y'all watching this shit.
First round, real quick.
The people that are in those training rooms with him know how good.
Because he just knocks dudes out real quick in the first round.
Yeah, but now we're gonna get a good. I might fuck with this guy. He just, to me, I thought he was a con artist.
No,
just based off his look.
They're edgy. Holy shit! What the hell just happened?
What's up, motherfucker? Money a sports betting show on this Friday, February 25th, 2022. Got a pretty good slate of games to talk about. Talking about some NBA today. The NBA's back to full force. We'll break down today's slate of games. I'll give up my picks of the day on that. I'll talk a little college basketball. Talk some UFC. A big UFC fight night. Makachev versus Bobby Green tomorrow evening. We actually broke down all the fights and everything yesterday. You can find that on our Facebook and YouTube pages at Down to the Sports Room. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Don't forget, we're live Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern with Easy Money, a sports betting show. Come join us. We're giving out winners. We're also live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern with GSR Gonzo Sports Room, our sports talk show. You can find both those shows live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. And you can also find both them shows in podcast form on Apple Podcasts, Anchor Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Most places you listen to podcasts, you can find us. We also have a new pro wrestling podcast out, GWR Gonzo Wrestling Room. It drops every Sunday at 9 a.m. We just dropped our 5th episode last Sunday. Have another big episode going to drop this Sunday, so make sure you check that out. You can find Gonzo's Wrestling Room, GWR, on Apple Podcasts, Anchor Podcasts, Spotify. Most places you listen to podcasts, you can find us. And the video version of GWR, Gonzo's Wrestling Room, also drops on YouTube at Gonzo Sports Room every Sunday at 9 a.m. as well. So make sure you join us for that. Follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all at Gonzo Sports Room. That's where we post all the information about our shows, whether it's our daily picks for Easy Money, a sports betting show, the interview announcements, the big show announcements. Everything goes to our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all at Gonzo Sports Room. Check out our YouTube page. Please hit that subscribe button. We greatly appreciate it. We got a lot of content on there, whether you're a pro wrestling fan, UFC fan, NBA fan, football fan, baseball fan. There's something on there for everybody. Please hit that subscribe button, hit the like buttons as well. If you're watching on Facebook and Twitch, please hit the follow and like buttons. We'd greatly appreciate that. Check out our merch store at streamlabs.com/GonzalesSports/merch. You can see some of the t-shirts behind us. We have hats, hoodies, a lot of different things on there. So go on there today and get you some GSR, GWR, and easy money gear. All right. Let's go ahead and get ready to jump into today's slate of games. Oh, before we do that, one thing real quick. This Sunday, February 27th, if you're around the Danville, Indiana area, or you can get there, there's a big independent pro wrestling show, WPW6, Warrior Pro Wrestling. This will be their 6th show. If you can't get to Danville, we will be there streaming it live on YouTube and Twitch at Gonzo Sports Room. It's going to be an awesome show. They got a stacked card. Some of the top talent around is going to be there this Sunday. So go check out Warrior Pro Wrestling this Sunday. Doors open at 2. Bell time's at 3 at Danville, Indiana. You can get more information on that at warriorprowrestling.com, Warrior Pro Wrestling Facebook. Check out at Gonzo Sports Room's social media. We've made posts about it on there. I will actually be making another post about it this evening. But we will be streaming the event live with live commentary at 3 p.m. on Sunday afternoon. So come join us for that. All right, let's start out in the NBA today. First game we have is the Houston Rockets at the Orlando Magic. This game tips off at 7:10 p.m. Eastern tonight. The Magic are 3.5-point favorites at home. They're minus 158 on the money line. The Rockets are plus 134 on the money line. Over-under for this game is set at 235. But neither one of these teams are very good this year. And it's odd to say that the Magic are favored in the game because usually neither one of these teams are a favorite, except when they play each other. The Rockets are 15-43 on the year. They are on a 7-game losing streak. They average 108 points per game, and they're 1-6 ATS their last 7 games. So they're hoping to get off to a better start coming out of the All-Star break. The Magic are 13-47. They were on a 4-game losing streak going into the All-Star break. They average 103 points per game, and they're 2-5 ATS their last 7. This is a tricky game here because, like I said, neither team is very good. I lean toward the Magic basically just because they're at home. So I would lean toward the Magic at the -3.5. I like the under the 235 in this game. Next game is the Thunder at the Indiana Pacers. Uh, the Pacers are 7-point favorites at home. They're -275 on the money line. OKC is +225 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 226. The Thunder are 18-40 on the season, and the Pacers are 20-40 on the season. So these are two teams that are not having a very good season as well. Uh, it's been a disappointing season for the Indiana Pacers. A lot of people at the beginning of the year, including myself, uh, not saying I thought the Pacers would be going to the Eastern Conference Finals, but I thought the Pacers would be right around 4 or 5 seed, maybe even push maybe up to a 3 seed and have a chance to make some kind of a playoff run. Injuries have really hurt the Pacers. Then they end up blowing up the team, and even with that, there's still injuries are still hurting them bad. And the Thunder have just not been very good all year, and they're in a rebuild mode as well. This is a second game of a back-to-back for the Thunder. They've lost 6 of their last 7 games. They average 101 points per game. Uh, Pacers, like I said, injuries have really been killing them. They're playing without 5 regulars. They average 109 points per game. Uh, Tyrese Halliburton has been playing well since they've picked him up at the trade deadline. I like some of the moves that they've made, and I think the Pacers, if they can get past the injuries, if they can stay healthy next year, they're going to be a pretty good team. This year, they're not going to do anything. I do like the Pacers in this game, but not enough to give up 7 points. I would lean more toward the over the 226. Then we have the Toronto Raptors at the Charlotte Hornets. The Raptors are 2-point favorites on the road. They're -130 on the money line. The Hornets are +110 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 226. The Raptors are 32-25 on the season. They are coming off a win over the Timberwolves. They've won 9 of their last 11, and they average 109 points per game. Injuries was hurting the Raptors toward the beginning of the season. They didn't get off to as quick of a start as people kind of expected them to. I'm not saying that they're going to make a deep run in the playoffs, but they are a decent team, uh, especially when they're healthy. They've won 9 of their last 11. They average 109 points per game. The Hornets are 29-31. They're on a 3-game losing streak coming out of the All-Star break. They're good offensively, one of the best offensive teams in the NBA. But they struggle bad on defense. They average 114 points a game, but their last 6 or 7 games before the All-Star break, they were struggling shooting the ball. But when they're on, they can score points in a hurry. I like the Raptors here at the -130 on the money line, and I would lean toward the over the 226. Next game we have is the San Antonio Spurs at the Washington Wizards. The Spurs are 23-36. The Wizards are 27-31. The Spurs are 3.5-point favorites on the road. They're a -154 on the money line. The Wizards are +130 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 224.5. Spurs are coming off a win over the Thunder. They're 5-2 ATS their last 7 versus Washington. They average 111 points per game. The Wizards are 27-31. They're coming off a win. They average 107 points per game. They're 4-15-1 ATS their last 20. The Wizards have not been very good at all. The Spurs have been a pretty consistent team. They just don't have enough firepower to hang with some of the top teams. But I like the Spurs on the money line here against the Wizards. And we have the Miami Heat at the New York Knicks. This game starts at 7:40 p.m. Eastern time tonight. The Heat are 6-point favorites on the road. They are minus 235 on the money line. Knicks are plus 194 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 212. The Heat are 38-21 on the season. They've won 6 of their last 7. They have 6 players that average in double digits, and they average 109 points per game. The Knicks are 24-34 this season. This has been a disappointing season for the Knicks, especially how they had played the last 2 years. Randall has been digressing rather than progress. Has been going the other opposite direction instead of getting better. He was upright. Last couple of seasons have been playing. They're at an all-star level. This year, he's dropped down to under 20 points a game. The Knicks are on a 3-game losing streak. They average 105 points per game. I like the Miami Heat in this game at the -6. The Heat are just they're a better team, a more consistent team. And at this point, I think they are a better coach team as well. Next game we have is the 76ers at the Timberwolves. A lot of people are going to be interested in this game tonight. This game starts at 8:10 p.m. Eastern. The 76ers are 2.5-point favorites on the road. They are minus 138 on the money line. The T-Wolves are plus 118 on the money line. Over-under for this game is set at 229. The 76ers are 35-23. They've been good on the road this year as they're 19-10 on the road. They're 7-2 ATS their last 9 road games. Embiid's been playing his ass off. He's playing at an MVP level. And the way it sounds, James Harden is going to make his 76er debut tonight. So there'll be a lot of people watching to see how Harden and Embiid look together. The T-Wolves are 13-28 on the season. They've won 7 of their last 10 games. This will be a second game of a back-to-back for the Timberwolves as they played their first game back from the All-Star break last night and got a win over Memphis. T-Wolves are playing good right now. This is going to be a good game, but I like the 76ers here on the money line at the minus 138. All right, next game we have is the New Orleans Pelicans against the Phoenix Suns. The Suns are 6.5-point favorites at home. They're minus 250 on the money line. The Pelicans are plus 205 on the money line. Over-under for this game is set at 229.5. The Pelicans are 23-36 on the season. They've lost 4 of their last 5. They're 1-5 ATS their last 6 games against the Suns. The Suns have the best record in NBA. They were on an 8-game win streak going into the All-Star break. They did lose Chris Paul for a while with the injury, but they got a couple of their other guards back, so that's going to help them. And then they still have Booker. Booker's just got to step up and be a little more of a leader now. I like the Suns here at the minus 6.5 over the Pelicans. And I would lean toward the over the 229. All right. Next game we have is the Dallas Mavericks at the Utah Jazz. The Jazz are 5.5-point favorites at home. They're minus 230 on the money line. The Mavericks are plus 190 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 218. The Mavericks are 35-24 on the season. They've won 7 of their last 10. They're 6-1 ATS their last 7, and they're coming off a win over the Pelicans. The Jazz are good at home as well. They're 36-22 on the season, but they're 21-10 at home, and they're 5-0 ATS their last 5 home games. I think this is going to be a good game. I'm gonna go with the Jazz at the minus 5.5. Jazz are getting a little healthier, and when the Jazz are on shooting the ball, they are very dangerous. I would like the over the 218 in this game. Then next game we have is the Los Angeles Clippers at the Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers are 2-point favorites at home. They're minus 126 on the money line. Clippers are plus 108 on the money line. Over under for this game is at 221.5. Neither one of these teams are having a great season. Clippers have had you've had Kawhi hasn't played all season. George has missed a lot of games. Injuries have really affected the Clippers. The Lakers have had some injuries to deal with as well. The Clippers are 5-5 their last 10. They're 4-0 ATS their last 4, and they're 5-1 ATS their last 6 meetings versus the Lakers. The Lakers are 5-2 ATS their last 7 games. They're coming off a loss to Utah. I think it's going to be a real close game. I lean toward the Clippers just because the Lakers have been struggling. But what I like more in this game than anything is the over the 221.5 is what I lean toward more than anything. Sidewise, this game's a hard game to pick. Uh, I'd probably lean toward the Lakers just because they're considered the home team, and they have their stars where the Clippers don't have their stars. But the Lakers have not proven that they're a very good team this year either. So I lean toward the over the 221.5 in this game would be what I would lean toward the most. All right, it looks like that's all of the NBA games for today. We'll take a look over here at some of the college basketball games we have on this evening. In the Big Ten, Battle of the Big Ten tonight, you have Northwestern at Penn State. Penn State's a 1.5-point favorite at home. They were minus 126 on the money line. Northwestern is plus 105 on the money line. I like Penn State in this game. All right, see if we have what other bigger colleges we have playing tonight. Then we'll look at some of the smaller colleges as well. In MAC action, you have Akron at Ohio. Ohio's a 7.5-point favorite. They were over-unders at 132.5. I would lean toward Akron in that game, but I wouldn't be too comfortable giving up 7.5. Louisiana at Georgia State. Georgia State's a 6.5-point favorite at home. Over-under for this game is at 141. I lean toward Georgia State. I think Georgia State wins the game, but I think 6.5 is too many points. I lean toward Louisiana at the plus 6.5. You have Iowa at Nebraska. Iowa's a 12.5-point favorite on the road. Over-unders at 161.5. I would lean toward the under the 161. I think Nebraska wins the game, but I'm not laying 12.5 points, though. Not a Big Ten game. San Jose State at San Diego State. San Diego State's a 21-point favorite. That's a game I'm staying away from. I'm not laying 21 points. Texas State at Troy. Texas State's a 2-point favorite on the road. I like Texas State here. I would take a money line, and I would lean toward the over the 128.5 in that game. There's not. I mean, you have Harvard at Princeton. Princeton's a 7.5 point favorite at home. Minus 310 on the money line. Over unders at 141.5. I would lean toward Princeton in this game at the minus 7.5. All right, let's take a look at some UFC. Got a UFC fight night tomorrow night. We'll take a look at it real quick. On yesterday's show, we broke down all of the UFC fights that are on this weekend's card. You can find that on our YouTube page at Gonzo Sports Room, or you can find it on our Facebook pages at Gonzo Sports Room as well. We broke down all the fights and gave out some of our picks. I was going to give out my official picks on the fights as well. Let's take a look at We'll start out in the prelims. Prelims first. First fight of the prelims, you have Carlos Hernandez against Victor Altamirano. Hernandez is a minus 136 favorite. Altamirano is a plus 116 underdog. I like Altamirano in this fight. He's 10-1. He has 5 wins by decision, 4 wins by submission. I just think he's a little bit more well-balanced fighter than Hernandez is. I like Altamirano at the plus 116 on the money line. Next prelim fight is Ramiz Brahmal against Michael Gilmore. Brahmal is a minus 360 favorite. Gilmore is a plus 290 underdog. I like Ramiz Brahmal in this fight by submission. Next fight is Alejandro Perez against Jonathan Martinez. Perez is a plus 200 underdog. Martinez is a minus 245 favorite. I like Martinez to win this fight. Minus 245 might be a little steep. I'd probably look for a prop bet or bet on like a double chance or method of victory or something like that. But I like Martinez to win this fight. Yeah. Then we have Perez Zion against Terrence McKinney. Zion is a minus 126 favorite. McKinney is a plus 108 underdog. I like McKinney to win this fight as a plus 108 underdog. He has good wrestling, good power. I think he's going to be able to use his wrestling to his advantage in this fight, as Ziom's takedown defense isn't the best. So I like McKinney here at the plus 108 as the underdog. And then the next fight on the prelims we have is Ramona Pascal against Josiane Nunes. I like Nunes to win this fight by KO or TKO. Nunes the only thing that worries me about Nunes in this fight, if she don't get the knockout earlier in the fight, she'll gas herself because she just comes out like a ball of fire. I like Nunes by TKO or KO in this fight. Again, you can find our full complete breakdowns of these fights on our YouTube page at Gonzo Sports Room or on our Facebook page at Gonzo Sports Room. You can find our complete breakdown of all these fights. I'm just kind of going through and giving you guys my thoughts on my last second picks, or kind of last second thoughts on these fights and what I'm leaning towards. Next fight is Ignacio Bahamondes against Zhu Rong. Rong Zhu, I think, actually. Excuse me, I pronounced that wrong. I like Zhu to win this fight. She's a plus 176 underdog, but I think her wrestling is going to be the difference in this fight. I think she's going to be able to get on the inside and It's gonna be should be a real close fight, but I like Zoo to win this fight. Another underdog at the plus 176. All right, that's all the prelim fights. Let's move over and take a look at the main card. On the main card, first fight we have on the main card is Armand Pestroyan against Gregory Rodriguez. Petrosyan is a plus 138 underdog. Rodriguez is a minus 164 favorite. I like Rodriguez in this fight. I think he's just a little more well balanced. I think his wrestling is going to come in play here. Should be a fun fight to watch. I'm leaning toward Gregory Rodriguez at the minus 164 on the money line. Next fight is Arman Shukrian against Joel Alvarez. Shukrian is a minus 200 favorite. Alvarez is a plus 168 underdog. I like Armand Shukrian to win by decision in this fight. I think that's gonna be a fun fight to watch as well. Next fight on the main card we have is Ji-Yeon Kim against Priscilla Kochera. Kim is a minus 168 favorite. Kochera is a plus 142 underdog. I like Ji-Yeon Kim in this fight. Should be a fun fight to watch. But I like Ji-Yeon Kim at the minus 168 on the money line. Then we have Misha Cirkunov against Wellington Turman. Cirkunov is a minus 120 favorite. Turman is a plus 102 underdog. I like Cirkunov in this fight. Turman's going to be, I think Turman's a little better on their feet. Cirkunov has great grappling. I think he gets this fight to the ground, and I think he gets a finish. I like Cirkunov at the minus 120 on the money line. And then the main event of the evening, you have Islam Makhachev against Bobby Green. Makhachev is a minus 900 favorite. Bobby Green is a plus 610 underdog. I like Makhachev to win this fight, but I'm not going to take it straight up at no minus 900. I think Makhachev wins this fight by a finish. See what get method of victory. Makhachev to win by submission is minus 115. I kind of like that. Or if what's the double chance? Let's see what the double chance is. Is there any value on it? Real quick. Double chance. No, there ain't really no value on that. I would take him to win by submission. You get that minus 115. I think Makhachev's just going to be too much for Bobby Green. Again, you can find our complete breakdown of the UFC Fight Night Makhachev versus Green on YouTube and on Facebook at Gonzo Sports Room. Go check those out. I will put out a graphic tomorrow around noon. It'll have my officially picks I'm going to take, and I'll even put a parlay on there. I'll give you guys basically a pick for every fight. I was 8-1 last week on the UFC, so hoping to have another good weekend this weekend on the UFC. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Sorry that we started about an hour and a half late today. Doctors put me on some new medicine, and it knocked my ass out. So that's why we were late today. But we will be back Monday, and we will be at our normal time at 1 p.m. Eastern. I appreciate everybody joining us. Don't forget, we're live Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern with Easy Money, a sports betting show. We're giving out winners. Come join us. We're also live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern with GSR Gonzo Sports Room, our sports talk show. You can find both those shows live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. You can also find both those shows, GSR Gonzo Sports Room and Easy Money, a sports betting show in podcast form on Apple Podcasts, Anchor Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Most places you listen to podcasts, you can find us. Also, we have a new pro wrestling podcast. It's a weekly pro wrestling podcast, Gonzo's Wrestling Room, GWR. We just released our 5th episode of it last Sunday. We had a special guest on there, pro wrestler Big Whiskey Jared Kripke. We have another big episode that's going to release this Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern. You can find that on most places you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Anchor Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and you can also find the video version on our YouTube page at Gonzo Sports Room. And new episodes drop on all those platforms at 9 a.m. Eastern every Sunday. Follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Gonzo Sports Room. That's where we post everything about our shows. Excuse me. Whether it's our daily picks for Easy Money, a sports betting show, or it's a big interview announcement, just anything to do with the show, everything gets posted on our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all at Gonzo Sports Room. Check our YouTube page at Gonzo Sports Room. We have a lot of content on there. Please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you get notifications of when we're live and you don't miss it. Also, if you're watching on Facebook or Twitch, please hit those follow buttons, those like buttons. Hit the share button. We greatly appreciate that. Check out our merch store at streamlabs.com/Gonzalez Sports/merch. We have t-shirts, hats, hoodies, a lot of different things on there. You can see some of our t-shirts here behind me. So go get you some Easy Money, GWR, and GSR gear today. Don't forget, we are live tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern with our sports talk show, Gonzo Sports Room. Come join us for that as we talk about the top stories in the sports world. I want to thank everybody that's joined us this week. We will see you guys Monday afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern with another episode of Easy Money, a sports betting show. Don't forget, we will have our official UFC picks up tomorrow around noon. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Stay safe. Peace.